Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So today we are going to learn all about sketching technique. So if you want to sketch anything like landscape, flower or any element, you need to learn some basic strokes of pencil or pen. I have created multiple videos in the past around flower perspective and these kind of flowers. This one I have used multiple sketching process to sketch all these tulips. Likewise, we have created multiple videos, so if you want to refer to those videos, you will get a link into the description section. Now, because I want to show you how this sketching process work, so side by side we are going to draw one flower as well with all the sketching techniques that we are going to learn today. So I'm creating this basic simple flower having 3 to 4 petals in it, and I'm using little bit different perspective wherein we can see the half part of the ovary and one petal which is tilted towards the upward direction. So something like this you can draw, or you can draw anything, any simple perspective as well. And motive for today's video is not to draw this particular flower but to learn all the sketching process. So I'm done with this particular flower, big ovary stems and multiple folds around the petals. And let's start with the sketching process now. So basically for these sketching techniques, I'm creating this rectangle shape wherein I'm going to explain about every sketching techniques one by one. And I'm using this gel pen. You can use normal ball pen as well, it's totally fine. I'm using 01 mm gel pen just to demonstrate all these things. So let's start with the hatching process first. So for the hatching process we need to create parallel lines like this. So first I'm creating parallel lines in the horizontal way. So as you can see, we can get something like this. Now you can draw all these lines very close to each other. You can see the difference between these two. The first section is darker as compared to the second section. Now I'm adding more lines in the upper portion. Now you can see 3 different sections having different shades, right? So likewise, the more you're going to draw your line, the more shades you will going to get. Now this is about hatching process. So first one is hatching. Now in the second one I'm going to show you how we can do cross hatching. So basically I'm creating again the parallel lines in the horizontal way. Now we can cross this lines with some another line in the different direction. So now I'm going to create some vertical lines to cross all these lines. So these are cross hatching process. So I'm creating these vertical line throughout the rectangle, and now you can see the difference between the first and this particular one. This one is totally different thing and this one is totally different. Now until here we can see the same kind of shading. Now you can add multiple lines to create more shading into it. So when you start adding more lines, more cross hatching, you will get darker shade. Now you can see this particular area has more shades as compared to the other. Now until this particular area, and create more lines horizontally and vertically, and you will get more shades around this particular area. So it's totally up to you what kind of drawing you are doing, and then accordingly you can use this hatching process or cross hatching process, and how deep you want to do all these process, it's totally depend on you. So the first one is hatching and the second one is cross hatching. Now cross hatching or hatching, it's not necessary to draw a line horizontally or vertically. You can draw all these lines in any direction. Like in this one I'm creating lines diagonally, and then you can expedite your process. You can create multiple lines to get more shades around your area. Now for a particular element, it's not necessary to draw everything in a single cross hatching or hatching methods. You can create some random patterns like this. So I'm filling this area with the help of cross hatching process only, but all the lines are random. I'm not choosing any particular way to cross hatch this particular area. So basically you can do something like this also. These kind of techniques are very helpful when you are trying to sketch some building or landscape or something like that. You can also cross hatch like this, like I'm doing a zigzag pattern. I'm not creating a line, but all the lines are connected with each other. This is basically like hatching process. If you want to expedite your process, you can just simply create crisscross lines like this. Now we have learned about hatching, cross hatching in multiple directions, random pattern, all these things. So I want to sketch this particular flower, especially the folded area, with the help of cross hatching method. So I'm outlining the structure and doing some cross hatching around the petal folds. So I'm cross hatching all the folds to get some different shades, but you can use hatching process also if you want to. So I'm repeating the same cross hatching process around all the three folds that we have for this particular flower. Now you can do little bit of hatching process around the stems to get little darker shade. So depends on what kind of area you are doing, what kind of process and techniques you want to use to sketch your element. Now this is all about hatching and cross hatching. Now let's learn the contouring process. Difference between the contouring process and hatching process is hatching we can create parallel lines, but in the contouring process we go with the flow of object shape. So let's create a circle and let's try to do some cross hatching process in it. So this will look something like this, but I think it's not that good because we want to draw some circular object. So let's try one more. So in this particular one I'm going with the object direction. So I'm creating some curves, some circles to hatch the circle. So basically this is also like a hatching process, but when we go with the flow of object shape and size, then this method is called contouring. So I contour it with the help of some semicircular shapes and some circular shapes, and it will give you a very different perspective as compared to normal cross hatching. So now you can see the difference between first circle and the second circle. You can also contour it with the help of some curves like this. So I'm creating multiple curves around different direction, and now you can see this is more circular object as compared to the second one. So the second one is more like a piece of wood and third one is more like a ball. Likewise you can do same thing for the leaves as well. So let's create two leaves. For the first one I did cross hatching, for the second one I'm doing contouring process. Now you can see the difference. The first one is very plain, but the second one you can see little bit perspective of the leaves as well. So going with the object direction is also important, and the process is called contouring. So let's contour the petals now. So I'm creating some parallel lines only, but these are not straight line. These are flowing with the petal shape. So as per petal perspective, I'm creating all these lines. These could be of different lengths as well. It's not necessary to draw all the lines in the same length. You can create something like this. Next one is stippling process. So in the stippling process, we just need to create dots like this. This process is little bit hectic because multiple dots we need to create. Depends on the density of the dots, you will get different shades. Many artists use this stippling process to draw everything for their work. Personally, this is a bit hectic for me, so I usually like to do stippling process just to differentiate between a different element. Like for this particular petal, this is actually folded petal and we are seeing the back side of the petal, so we can do some stippling process around this petal just to show this petal is different, and we can also create multiple stamens around the ovary with the help of stippling process. So we have these fine structure around the ovary, so with the help of a stippling process we are creating all these dots, and then with the help of cross hatching process we are creating some lines around this particular ovary. Now if you create some circular form like this, all these are the part of sketching process. So let's assume you're drawing a tree branches, then you can use some curling process like this. But I'm using this curling process for my ovary. So I'm creating 2 layers and then I'm cross hatching the middle portion. So now you can see the simple flower looks very different when you do these kind of detailing in your flower. And we have used stippling process, we have used cross hatching process. Past video I have shown you multiple ways to create all these petals and ovary, wherein you can use different contouring process to achieve different kind of ovary. Now last but not the least, let's learn the soft hatching process. So when you hatch with parallel lines like this, you will get something like this, but you will do the same thing with the help of soft hand. So when you hold the pen softly and create all these lines, not like the one when we are doing the cross hatching, but I'm trying to just drag my pen to get something like this, some shades like this. So this soft hatching process I like the most to add some shades around your petals or your elements. So you need to do it softly, slowly, and you just need to drag your pen in one direction with very soft hand, and then you can achieve something like this. So let's do it for the petals to add some extra shadings around the petals. So likewise you can use all these different techniques to draw your element. We have learned multiple techniques. You can create your own techniques, to be frank. Like we have created all these hatching, cross hatching, random patterns. So hope you have liked this video. Do let me know if you have any feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching my videos. See you guys in the next video.